Hey everyone, how you doing? My name's Eric. As always, I want to thank you for taking a minute to check out my video today. On this episode of Smo'King, I'm going to show you how to make a jacked up pit barrel smoked ham. Now this is a great recipe if you're kind of new to smoking and you're intimidated by some of those more complicated recipes. The reason this is such an easy recipe is because you're starting with something that's already fully cooked. All you're really doing is heating it up to temperature in your smoker. Now I'm using my pit barrel cooker. You don't need a pit barrel cooker. You can have a regular kettle grill, a gas grill, any kind of a electric smoker, gas smoker, it doesn't matter. As long as you can put a couple hours of smoke on it to bring it up to temperature, add a little bit of that delicious smoke flavor we all like, and then in the last part of the cook, we're gonna make a homemade glaze. And the reason I call this recipe jacked up is because it's gonna have some orange marmalade, some molasses, some Jack Daniels, some honey, some mustard, some apple juice, and a few other ingredients. And this is going to make a wonderful sticky glaze. It's just going to really make the flavors come out delicious. And you're really going to impress your families and friends. You know, you don't have to go down to the Honey Baked Ham Company and spend $75 to $100 on a ham. Just buy a regular ham and fire up your smoker. And I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. So stick around. Let's get cooking. Alright, the first thing you want to do is take the ham out of the package. Now normally when I'm using my pit barrel, if at all possible, I prefer to hang my meat on the hooks because that allows great air circulation, gives it a delicious flavor, and those juices drip down into the coal and produce this steam that just gives it added flavor, in my opinion. Now since this is already a pre-sliced ham, the bottom portion, the bottom half is already pre-sliced, I'm concerned about hanging it because I'm worried as it cooks, it's possible that slices could fall off and into the coals, and obviously I don't want that to happen. So if I had a regular ham that wasn't pre-sliced, I would take a couple hooks and hang it from the rebarb. But since this isn't, I'm going to use one of these disposable trays. Now I just took regular old apple juice and I poured a little bit in here to create some moisture. Okay, and then what I've done in my little spray bottle here is I've mixed 2 parts of the apple juice with 1 part of the Jack Daniels. And what we're going to do with this is put it in a spray bottle, and we're just going to spray this ham because the smoke is going to stick to it much better when the surface of the ham is nice and moist. You always want to keep it moist. It definitely helps the smoke to adhere to the meat. Now, most of your hams that you buy from the grocery store come with this liquid glaze ham that you just kind of put on. It's already pre-mixed, but it has a bunch of additives, preservatives, stuff you really, I don't want to put on a delicious ham. So I'm going to show you how to make a homemade orange whiskey glaze. It only requires a couple ingredients, no preservatives, no additives. It's going to be absolutely delicious. So I'm going to let this sit on the counter, kind of warm up a little bit. I'm going to go outside and fire up the pit barrel. We'll see you outside in a minute. All right, I have some coals already going here in my basket. And we're going to pour this in here. So we're just going to give this a few minutes to kind of stabilize the temperature. I'm going to put my bars in because that helps with the temperature. We want to run this around 275 to 300, which is typically what your pit barrel is going to run anyway. So that's it. I'm just going to give it 15 minutes or so, get that temperature stabilized, get the coals an opportunity to get lit, and we'll be back shortly when we throw that ham on. All right, it's been around 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do first before I put the ham on is I'm going to put some wood. I got 1 big piece of hickory wood I'm going to put on here, and then I got a handful of apple chips. My plastic bag is just about empty, so I'm just going to pour the remainder of that on there like so. Perfect. You want to put the wood on right before you put the food on. You don't want it to burn away. Now another thing, if you're cooking the ham like I am in this one of these disposable aluminum trays here, find a rack like I have underneath it, because especially if you have liquid in it, when you take it out, it's been sitting in here for a few hours, it's very hot, you could burn yourself. So that's what I do right there. And then I'm going to give it a good spray again. Make sure it's nice and wet. And then we're going to go ahead and put the bars in, because that's going to help stabilize the temperature at around 275 to 300. Got a little bit. It's a big ham. Well, there we go. All right. And that's it. We'll let it go for a good, I don't know, hour or so. I'll come back in an hour or so and do a temperature check. All right, here we are. Beer review time. Earth Thirst or Organic Double IPA. 8.2% alcohol. This is 100% organic, made by Eel River Brewing Company, Humboldt County. It's up Central California. So there you go. That's what I'm having. And this is my daughter, Ava Grace. Say hi.
Hi.
And she's got a new shirt on that she's real happy about. It's a little big on her, but she'll grow into it. What does it say on your shirt?
It's Kyle's age. It's Smo'King barbecue tips and recipe. So when I'm doing something to Dad's shirt, when I see he's about to do a video and I see his Smo'King shirt on, I go, Smo'King barbecue tips and recipes. So just follow the words out.
Yeah. And she's going to be trying something. Apple and Eve 100% juice fruit punch. All right.
I've tried this before.
You've tried it before?
Have you ever went to Stater Brothers and tried Apple and Eve juices? They have berry, this juice, and apple juice.
All right. And this is in a nice little juice box. So don't try it yet. Let me get my beer poured, okay?
Smells a little longer.
It is a little longer. All right.
And you're going to try that.
I'm going to try that. Yes, you're right.
You're going to try the thing that's too big for me. And I'm going to try the juice since I'm a kid. This is kid juice. That's grown-up juice.
Yeah, you're right. Good job, Ava Grace. Okay. So,
I would like to drink
you ready?
this.
You ready to do a sip? Ooh, very hoppy.
I'm ready.
It smells like pine. A little bit of fruit, too.
Can I drink it now?
Yeah, take a sip.
Okay.
I'll take a sip. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching my video. Thank you.
It's good.
It's good? What's it taste like? Don't drink the whole pot.
It tastes like the fruit punch tastes like how you're punching fruit.
Like you're punching fruit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. This is very good. It's very hoppy, a little bit bitter, but it's got a good kind of mellow fruit aftertaste.
Daddy, tell the video what it tasted like, what you drank.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling him right now.
You laugh at the video. LOL, ha ha ha. Ha ha, I burn everything.
Well, thank you for doing a video review with me on the juice instead of Kyle. I appreciate it. I hope people like it.
Yeah, because Kyle doesn't like that shirt.
All right, as always, guys, I appreciate you watching my video. We're going to go check on that ham in just a second. I'm going to enjoy a little bit more of this, and you're going to enjoy your fruit juice?
Yeah.
Okay, say goodbye.
Bye.
See you guys in a little bit. We'll go check on that ham.
Bye-bye, banana pie.
All right, so now I'm going to show you how to make this delicious orange whiskey glaze that we're going to coat on the ham. So first you're going to start off with an 18-ounce jar of orange marmalade. Now it doesn't have to be orange. You can use pineapple, apricot, or mango. I like the orange. It goes well. It's going to require a little bit of work here. That's the whole jar here, so we're going to scoop everything out. My last video I did was a bourbon pineapple glaze, and I used a jar of pineapple preserves or marmalade or jam or, you know, whatever you want to call it. And that's a little harder to find. depending on where you live. So orange is readily available. Apricot and mango are a little bit more popular. Pineapple's hard to find. But, you know, choose what you want. All right, so 1 18-ounce jar of orange marmalade. Now we're going to do 1/3 cup of dark molasses. I got that over here. Let's pour that in there. That's going to add that nice dark color. Okay, 1/3 cup of dark molasses. Next, we're going to do 1 cup of honey. Nothing goes better with ham than some honey. All right, 1 cup of honey. Next, we're going to do 1 cup of Jack Daniels. Now, you don't have to put the Jack Daniels in. I just like the flavor, and if you're, you know, if you don't want to deal with the alcohol is not going to come into effect because we're going to simmer this on the stove, and all the alcohol is going to be burned off. Okay, now we got 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Okay. 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Mustard's also another great thing that goes well with ham. And then the final thing, which is optional, some people don't like it because it's a little strong, it can be overpowering, is 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. This adds a nice flavor. I like it, but if you don't like it, don't put it in. And if you do put it in, be careful. I wouldn't go more than 1/2 teaspoon because it can get overpowering. Now we're just going to stir this up real well. I'm going to put this on the stovetop. I'm going to put it on a light simmer, and we're just going to bring this to a light boil while we're going to constantly stir this and just let it simmer for a little bit until we're ready to put it on that ham. So there you go. So I just wanted to show you that glaze. I've had it simmering here. It reduced down a little bit. Just keep stirring it. Keep it on a low simmer. Let's go outside and see how that ham's looking. All right, it's been exactly 1.5 hours. Let's see how this looks like. Woo! Looks good. Water's kind of bubbling a little bit there. So what I'm going to do now, I want to apply the glaze, but there's a little too much liquid in this pan. I don't want it to overflow, so I'm going to remove a little bit of this liquid, and then I'll apply the glaze, and then I'm going to cover this in foil. Because right now it looks like it's taken quite a bit of smoke. You can see the outside's dark. And so now covering it in foil will just allow it to come up to temperature, and that moisture and the liquid in there will give it a little, maintain its juiciness. But yeah, I definitely need to remove some of the liquid. So I'm going to go remove some of the liquid, and then we'll baste it and we'll go from there. The easiest way to remove some of the liquid is to get a plunger like this and some kind of a container. And just try to remove some of this. And just about a couple cups of juice. So let me go grab the glaze, and we'll apply some of that glaze. Alright, so I have some of that glaze here that's been simmering for around 15-20 minutes. You see it's getting a little bit of more thickness to it. And now I'm just gonna, I'm gonna pour a little bit, make it a little bit quicker. There we go. And just try to cover the entire ham. Get some of this delicious glaze. You can see some of the chunks from the orange marmalade. Oh, this is looking good. Alright, I'm going to save a little bit for the last part. So now I'm going to cover it with foil, and we'll let it sit for a little bit. We're going to try to go for a temperature of 140 degrees, which should be perfect for serving. So be back in a second. Alright, so I covered it in foil, and I'll put the rods in here. And we're just going to, I took an internal temperature. The outside's getting close to done, but the inside is still a little bit on the cold side, so it's registering just over 100 degrees. So putting this cover on it, the foil cover, and that glaze, that little bit of liquid, it's going to help steam it and get it heat up a little bit quicker. So it's probably only going to take another half hour, maybe 45 minutes tops. I'm going to wait until it hits a temperature of 130, 135, and then I'm going to take the foil off. We're going to put it directly on the grate and do a last bit of that glaze and let it sit without the rods in to get some real intense heat and kind of set that glaze in, and we'll be ready to eat. So we're almost there. See, in a little bit. We're at the 2 hour mark. I'm going to do a quick temperature read here. And again, remember, this is already fully cooked, so, you know, even if you take it off before it's reached 140 degrees, it'll still be safe to eat. All right. Woo. Okay, let's just stick it right here on the side. There's some steam coming off that. All right. Okay, this is saying it's around 134 degrees. You know what? That's just about right, you know? Drop down 133. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it out and I'm just going to put it directly on the grill. So we'll be back in 1 second. Alright, so here's this ham. Oh, whoo! Took it out of the juice there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to apply this glaze. We're just going to let it caramelize now directly over the heat. In fact, I'm going to pour some. I don't want to put the coals out, but I definitely want to get it in the nooks and crannies. Alright. Now I might do this a couple more times. I'm just going to, I'm going to leave the rods out. Coals are nice and hot. This is going to bring the temperature up and help caramelize it. So just put the lid on it and you know, keep an eye on it. It's not going to take much longer. It's pretty much done now. We just want to bring it up that extra 5 degrees or so, up to around 140. We want to get a nice caramelized glaze. So I might apply that glaze, you know, a couple times over the next 10 minutes or so, and then we should be done. All right, it's been around 4 minutes or so. Like I said, I'm just going to keep putting some more of this glaze on it. You can see it's already getting a little bit darker in color as it starts to caramelize. Oh man, look at this thing. Whew, this looks great. Alright, you know what? I'll probably do this one more time, maybe 2 more times. We'll just keep it going like that until it looks like it's time to take it off. I've had it here on the cutting board, covered it with foil loosely for around 15 minutes. Let's turn it on its side so I could take advantage of it being pre-sliced. So let's see here. See if I can just gently pull these slices apart. These pieces. Oh man, look at this. Alright, let's go a couple pieces in here. Well, here we go. Woo! Alright, hey everyone, here's the family. My wife Monica, my son Kyle. I got some of that glaze there in a fork and cut some pieces up. Give it a shot. See what you think.
Go for it.
You do.
Okay, I just didn't want to.
Try this, Kyle. See how you like it.
Good. Mmm. The sauce is zippy.
Except be careful because it's a sticky affair.
That it is. It's very good. I like the color.
Ooh, it's a good sauce.
Yeah, it's a very good sauce.
I can definitely taste the smoke in the ham.
Yeah, it's a very easy way to heat up a ham. It's already fully cooked, so you don't have to worry about it.
When I first came on the camera, I thought that was au jus.
Well, usually when I have you dip in something, it's beef and it is an au jus, but this is a ham and a glaze, so kind of similar. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. If you like it, hit the like button. Check out my website, the link above, ericsmokingbbq.com. And we'll see you next time. How do you like it, Kyle?
Good.
We'll see you next time, guys. Thanks
Bye.
again.